A good makeup artist can transform even the most recognizable actor into a weird, wonderful, or terrifying alien and make them pretty much unrecognizable in the process. Here's what these movie aliens look like without their makeup. Lee Pace has appeared in a whole bunch of movies and TV shows over the years, but arguably his most high-profile role is Ronan the Accuser, the alien villain of the 2014 Marvel film Guardians of the Galaxy. In the comics, Ronan is part of the blue-skinned alien species known as the Kree, so makeup artists Elizabeth Yanni-Georgiou and David White had to paint Pace's whole body blue and almost entirely shroud his face in black tar. While promoting the film, Pace told the YouTube channel Screen Slam that he actually loved wearing his extensive makeup because it serves as a mask for the character. He explained, "I move my face in a different way, but what's great about that too is that it's not the way the character looks, it's the way he wants to look. He's got blue skin, but on top of that, he's painted this fearsome mask because that's how he wants to present himself to the world." Yanni-Georgiou and White also designed the look for other extraterrestrial characters in the film, which earned them an Oscar nomination for Best Makeup and Hairstyling in 2015. As for Pace, he went on to play Ronan again in 2019's Captain Marvel, forgoing the black face paint since the movie takes place before Guardians and features a less radicalized version of the character. French actress Maïwenn Lebesco, known mononymously as Maïwenn, portrayed the tall and mysterious alien opera singer Diva Plavalaguna in 1997's The Fifth Element. In a rare interview regarding her extraterrestrial role in the movie, Maïwenn explained how The Fifth Element's French writer-director Luc Besson, who was engaged to her at the time, offered her the part of Diva. Maïwenn initially passed, however, saying, "Oh, thank you, but if I love you, I want to show you my love that is pure, so I don't want to work with you." Besson ended up hiring a German model to play Diva, but she didn't show up to her makeup test, and so Maïwenn stepped in to play the part. Maïwenn also revealed that applying the prosthetics needed to play Diva took 3 hours every day. The team, led by Lois Burwell, applied makeup around Maïwenn's head before they glued Diva's giant prosthetic dome onto her own. They then gave Maïwenn stilts and the dress, and since Maïwenn was so tall in her stilts, she required a special chair and her own crew to help her eat and drink. New Zealand-born actor Jermaine Clement is best known for playing comedic roles in movies and TV shows, such as What We Do in the Shadows and Flight of the Conchords. But he also played a terrifying alien villain in the 2012 film Men in Black 3, for which he wore an absolute ton of prosthetics and makeup.
It took 8 hours. So before you even start a work day, you've already had like what most people think of as a work day.
Luckily, by the end of the shoot, the makeup team had managed to get that time down just a little.
But then they gradually got it down to 4 hours. Now we can do it in 3 hours.
Legendary makeup artist Rick Baker, who designed the aliens for Men in Black 3 and its two predecessors, brought Boris to life and even made him scarier than intended. In 2012, Baker told Digital Trends, "In the script I got originally, he was a biker, but they described him as Dennis Hopper from Easy Rider. I said, you know what, I think he should be intimidating like Charles Manson or 1960s Hell's Angel president Sonny Barger. I did these designs and kind of reinvented what I thought he should be." Actress, model, and dancer Sofia Boutella played the alien warrior Jaylah in 2016's Star Trek Beyond, her first role that involved prosthetic makeup. While promoting the film, Boutella explained to Screen Slam why she enjoyed the long makeup process, saying, "The meditation aspect of it is like getting into character. You actually take this time. Sometime you get on set and you have very little time. I've never done prosthetics before. I like that second skin. I like what it brought to me. It's like, as soon as I had it on, you feel in character." Joel Harlow, the movie's makeup designer, explained to Inverse in 2017 why applying makeup to Boutella took longer than doing the same to Idris Elba, who played the film's similarly inhuman-looking villain, Krull. He said, "It's deceptively elaborate, with lots of intricate dissections." Sofia Boutella wore a forehead that came down her cheeks and black design markings that went all the way down to her chin. The mouth, nose, and chin are Sofia. Otherwise, everything else is all a prosthetic. The time it took was worth it in the end, though, because Harlow and fellow makeup artist Richard Alonso both received an Oscar nomination for their work on Star Trek Beyond. British actor and comedian Simon Pegg portrayed the slimy alien junk dealer Unkar Plutt in 2015 Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. In a 2016 interview with Nerdist, the movie's creature supervisor Neil Scanlon explained that while they applied prosthetics to Pegg during the makeup process, they also got a little help from the VFX department. He said, "I think they did a little bit of CG enhancement on the inside of the mouth as well, to give him a slightly wider gape in his mouth than what you could do in real life. Obviously, it would have just been Simon's mouth otherwise. Even though a little CGI was used to bring Unkar Plutt to life, it was nowhere near the amount used for Lupita Nyong'o's Maz Kanata, or Andy Serkis's Supreme Leader Snoke, which were full-blown motion capture performances." For Plutt, though, this successful blend of CGI and practical effects helped Scanlon and the film's special effects team earn themselves an Academy Award nomination. Sadly, Pegg himself didn't find the suit all that comfortable.
And I had these big rubber, like silicone gauntlets on, which were my fingers. And when I took them off, I could pour the sweat out.
At least he didn't have to wear it for long. Australian actor Ben Mendelsohn has played countless villains throughout his long career, but his turn as the alien Talos in 2019's Captain Marvel is one of the few roles for which he actually wore prosthetics and makeup. Although he gets to spend a little time out of makeup in the movie, Talos' true appearance is that of a Skrull, a race of green, shape-shifting aliens who are frequently found stirring up trouble in the Marvel Universe. To Talos' credit, at least, he and his cohorts are revealed to be refugees from the Kree Empire halfway through the events of Captain Marvel, so it's quite literally not all bad. To throw audiences off that particular twist, Legacy FX supervisor Shane Mahan made the film's Skrulls look as intimidating as he could, landing on an appearance similar to that of their comic book counterparts. When asked about the length of the makeup process, Mendelsohn told Entertainment Weekly that, in total, it only took a couple of hours. When asked if the makeup team managed to quicken the process at all, Mendelsohn replied, "They have. What do? I sit there. No, they have. They're awesome. It's a couple of hours. It's not that big a deal, you know?" Mendelsohn ended up back in the makeup chair once more for Spider-Man Far From Home and will likely don his prosthetics again as the MCU grows ever bigger and more cosmic, especially with the upcoming Secret Invasion series looming over the horizon. It's a good thing he doesn't seem to mind. Scottish stuntman Ray Park famously wore a whole heap of makeup when he portrayed the acrobatic Sith Lord Darth Maul in 1999's Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. The film's principal makeup artist Paul Engelin spoke about Maul's devilish look in a 1999 issue of Makeup Artist magazine. He explained, "The red I used was actually a water-based aqua color that would fade, but it was quite easy to reapply by sponging on. The black was real tattoo color, which I had to paint on. It's kind of elasticized, so would tend to peel rather than run. I sponged it on with a fairly heavily saturated alcohol-based sponge and a lot of black pigment. Even with all of the action scenes shot out there, it worked." In an interview with Sci-Fi Wire in 2019, Park revealed he was initially unsure about Maul's look, explaining, "When they were doing me up, I just thought I looked silly. You know, my big nose and my weird teeth and then my blue eyes, and I just felt like a big panda, you know? But once the contact lenses were in and people were staring at me on set, it was like, wow." Park reprised his role for a cameo in 2018's Solo: A Star Wars Story and provided motion capture for the character in The Phantom Apprentice, an episode of the animated series Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Josh Brolin may have donned his motion capture suit to play the alien villain Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he wasn't actually the first actor to play the role. In fact, American actor and stuntman Damien Poitier underwent a round of prosthetics to portray the Mad Titan in a mid-credits stinger at the end of 2012's The Avengers. Flash forward to 2014 when Poitier explained to the Geeks with Wives podcast how he discovered which character he would play in The Avengers. The actor said, "I found out when I was in the makeup chair what I was doing. They kept it super quiet because they didn't want to put any spoilers out. So they kept it super quiet, what I was doing. And I didn't find out until they were casting my face to do the sculpt." Although Poitier sadly wasn't destined to play Thanos again, he did play Hero Merc 1 in 2016's Captain America Civil War, so that's something, at least. In 2018, the costume and creature design powerhouse Ironhead Studio, led by Jose Fernandez, shared a behind-the-scenes photo on their Instagram of Poitier wearing the Thanos makeup and prosthetics. As the caption details, although Thanos ended up getting a digital sheen for the film and eventually became fully digitally rendered in Avengers Infinity War, Jose still has a soft spot for this practical makeup design. While the practical Thanos makeup was done away with for later Marvel movies, Ironhead did go on to design costumes for Captain America Civil War, as well as a number of other high-profile movies and TV shows, including Aquaman and The Mandalorian. Australian actress Elizabeth Debicki has starred in a number of high-profile movies and TV shows throughout her career, but her turn as the alien queen Ayesha in 2017's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was easily the most makeup-heavy of them all, requiring her to be painted gold from head to toe. While promoting the film, Debicki spoke to comicbook.com about putting on the makeup. She recalled, "They built a sort of car wash. There was a lot of paint and a lot of sitting around and drying. It's quite an intimate process." The film's makeup department head, John Blake, also spoke to Makeup Artists magazine about giving Ayesha's species, the Sovereign, their gold look. Going into detail about the trouble they had trying to land on a good color, he explained, "There's a lot of gold makeup out there, but some of it doesn't really have a metallic gleam, while others have the metallic gleam but can look very textury and crusty. So it was just a matter of mixing batch after batch of different materials before I could come up with a gold that had the right amount of softness and metallic gleam to it." In the end, Blake and the makeup team succeeded in giving the Sovereign a bright and visually arresting gold look, one that made them one of the most memorable aspects of the entire movie. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about your favorite movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.